So, I don't really watch sports except for baseball, go Cubbies, but I do eat chips and dip. So, if you're going to watch football or whatever, you could make this really easy guacamole and eat that while you watch your football or whatever other sport you like to watch. So, to make this really easy guacamole, we don't have that many ingredients and they're all vegetables. So, this is good for you, right? We have 2 Hass avocados, a red onion, a lime, a Serrano chili because I like heat, and a clove of garlic, and some salt. Super easy, super simple, really good. Boom. So to start off with, I'm gonna scoot my avocado and lime over to the side and just get to work on this onion. We're not gonna use all of this. We don't really need all of it. That would just be an excess of onion. I'm probably only going to use like 1/4 of this onion total. So to start with, we'll cut some horizontal cuts down into the onion. And I want to mince this really finely. So I'm going to be going pretty small with my chop, just because I don't really like to get a huge piece of onion with my chip and guac. Just not super into that. So make some vertical cuts, and some pieces of onion might pop out. It's not a big deal. We'll corral them later. Right. Watch your little fingers, and then we just slice down. So chefy. That's like the #1 tip to good onion skills. Just do those horizontal and vertical cuts. All right, so I think that that is enough onion, and I'm just gonna pass through here with my knife to kind of get it even smaller, just because that's the way that I like it. So this is really open to your interpretation. If you want it chunkier, that's up to you. If you even want to add some tomato, my mom really likes to do that because she's a tomato fiend. Shout out to my mother. What's up? So next we will work on our garlic. So just crush that and get to slicing. I want this to be like basically a paste. So in a second, I'm gonna add some salt to my board to help grind it up better. Sprinkle this garlic with some salt. Just kind of smush it in there with the salt to get it nice and crushed, and keep running through with your knife. We want really small garlic this time. Oh yeah, that's so little and nice. Really use the weight of your knife. Oh yeah, that's perfect. If you just imagine like I am mashing the heck out of this garlic. You're angry at this garlic. This garlic insulted your mom. Yeah, so that's perfect. It's a paste now. So we'll just scrape that up and over to the side with its onion buddies. So now that our garlic is a very fine paste, we will chop up our Serrano. So just remove the top and bottom. And set that to the side. And then go down its hemispheres and cut it in half. And they're kind of leathery. So just pierce that. Alrighty. And depending on how much heat you like, you can remove the seeds or not. I'm choosing to not, because I love spicy food. That's just me. We just want to chop this into a really fine dice. And here's a pro tip. Don't touch your face after you've been chopping up chilies. I made this mistake one time, and it was the worst afternoon ever. I got jalapeno juice all over my face, and I had to use many home remedies to try and rectify that, including ketchup and milk all over my face. As comical as that sounds, it was really painful. So don't do that. This is all diced up nice and little. That's good. And we can move on to our avocados and lime. And the reason that I am doing the avocados and lime last is because, as everyone knows, avocados oxidize very quickly and turn brown, and they just look yucky. They might not taste yucky, but they just look that way. Remember what I said about rolling your citrus to release all of its juice? And then just cut that in half. And it's ready. It's waiting. It's like, put me in, coach. See, sports. So just go around your avocado, cut around that pit, and then pop those halves apart. And very carefully use your knife to get the pit out. And then I just kind of smoosh it out of the skin with my fingers. But if you want to use a spoon or, you know, whatever, to be more ladylike about it, then go ahead and do that. That's your guacamole. So do that with the one. Get all of that goodness. And then do the next one. So again, carefully remove the pit. That one went better. And then we will just smoosh it out. So easy. And these avocados are like at the perfect level of ripeness. All right, so now that all of our avocado is in the bowl, we can go ahead and squeeze over this whole lime. And I'm using the whole lime, A, because it is delicious, and B, because it helps keep your guacamole from getting brown. There we go. And again, the citrus juicer is awesome. There we go. One full lime. I love the way that smells. And now, time for the grunt work. Get in there and just mush up this avocado. And if your lime was bigger than that, you probably wouldn't want to use a whole one, because that would just make it way too limey. But that was a pretty small, anemic looking lime. Here's some fun additions to guacamole. Corn, very good. Tomato, also delicious. Other types of chilies like jalapenos are good and fairly traditional. I just really like Serrano in mine. I mean, it's good on everything. It's good on burgers, burritos, tacos, your hands. If you're going low carb, you could use it as a veggie dip. All right, so that is nicely mashed, and now we'll add the garlic first, because it needs to be incorporated the most. And just stir that in there, just make sure it gets distributed nicely. Okay, and then we'll add our Serrano, the whole thing, because we're not wimps. Just kidding. If you don't like spicy food, you're not a wimp. Not trying to put you down. And we'll add this onion. Boop. I'm actually gonna leave a little bit behind. I chopped up too much. I think it would be too onion heavy if I put all of that in there. My husband would probably disagree because he loves onion. So we'll mix that in. Oh man, the smells coming out of this bowl are so good. Heck yeah. All right, and we cannot forget, ever, 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 never forget, to season your food. So I'm just sprinkling like the whole thing with salt, because I know that avocados need a lot of salt, and then I will taste it and adjust for seasoning. So I will just taste a little bit of this delicious concoction. It needs salt. It's very good, but it definitely needs lots of salt. In case you were wondering, yes, I am having chips and guac for lunch. All right. So I know it's double dipping, but I'm the only one here, so here we go. Okay, that's perfect. Heck yeah. So I've let this sit in the fridge for about 20 minutes just so those flavors can all kind of mingle and meld together and get really good. And now it's time for me to taste it, which is my favorite part. So I've just got regular old corn tortilla chips. Yeah, this is going to be a hit at any of your game day parties if you're doing that. Or if you just want a really good dip to eat, this would be delicious.